So I've wanted to make this video for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, but I didn't want to put out a video that was purely negative. And from my first experience in the Bless Unleashed Alpha, I didn't have much to say about it. I didn't play too much to form an opinion because from what I played, it just wasn't ready. It wasn't even ready to have the NDA lifted. They weren't going to allow streaming or recording, and I managed to get myself in. I went and bought an Xbox, a regular Xbox One, and I think that was my first mistake. I played it for like an hour. The first thing you see when you get in the UI and the interface and the character creation, I was like, whoa, like this actually looks good. And then I got into the game. But before we continue, this is not a giant negative video because there are many good things that I do have to say about it. At the same time, I didn't get to play too much of this, and you'll understand why. I could wait until the next beta and then make a video, and maybe I will. But for now, I just want to kind of give my thoughts, my first impressions of Bless Unleashed on Xbox One. Except this time I played on an Xbox One X. So that's a beefy system that can run the game much better. But anyway, my first time, I was like, this just isn't where it needs to be. I don't even think I should talk about this because I know that there's a horde of people out there foaming out the mouth, ready to hop on the Bless hate wagon. And I don't have a reason to defend this game. I don't care about it like that. It's just, I know that people are ready to hate the game, and I would like to see them rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Bandai is publishing this. It's made on a new engine. I want to see if they can redeem themselves. It's not Bless Online, it's Bless Unleashed. And from my alpha experience where you weren't supposed to stream or record, and then at the last minute they said, oh, you know what, yeah you can, and I was thinking, no, you guys shouldn't have let this out. This is bad. Playing on a regular Xbox, it looked bad, it was choppy, it was about as optimized as Bless Online. And if you guys remember that was like one of the main reasons that I quit and many others. This time around, this is their closed beta, and getting into this was extremely easy. There was a million different websites with hundreds of keys to give away. So I got in, played on an Xbox One X, and the game looked fucking beautiful. It was gorgeous. It ran so smooth. I was like appalled. That's what I was really like taken back by the entire time. The UI, the world, like everything looked so damn good. This is a new game. This is a new game. Except the downfall is the combat. Now I've only got to like level 5 or level 6, so please don't take my opinion and think that this is all that Bless Unleashed is, because this is just an opinion from a guy who only spent a couple of hours in the game, tried a couple of classes, and doesn't have the credibility to really talk about this game in depth. But again, this is a first impressions. Now the plan was originally to play 3 to 5 hours, maybe more, get to a few dungeons, gain a bunch of levels, and put together a let's play, and then maybe share my thoughts as we go. However, I dealt with some type of delay, as you can see here. And this, it's like, you guys see that delay? That's gonna be hard to get used to. And if you look at the combat, you can see how slow it is. At least for the melee class, the Berserker. So with this delay in this combat, it was horrible. And I couldn't really tell if, man, this combat is just really slow and clunky and it's not fun, or if this delay is making everything so much worse. And it wasn't just me having a delay, it wasn't my system, it was the actual servers, because I wasn't the only one complaining about it. Outside of the prologue, there was still a small delay, not as bad, but it just sucks because I couldn't experience the game for what it's really meant to be because of this delay. Regardless though, I was able to pull off some combos and perform them, and what it felt like, what I can compare it to is, you know how a bunch of people can't get into Final Fantasy 14 because of the combat, and as someone who recently got into 14 and is in love with the game, it changes dramatically. The bosses, the dungeons, have you tap dancing and running around, you get a bunch of skills that are off cooldown, the combat definitely steps up. But for the people who only played up until level 30, or only played for a few hours, a lot of them dread the combat in 14. Imagine Final Fantasy 14 early combat is an action game, where you're just like 1, 2, 3. That's how I felt. And then people were like, well, that's just the melee class we chose. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go mage. Wait a second. Guys, this is fucking slow too. Let's try some specials. Nice. Oh, it's a teleport. Okay. Let's turn this off. So yeah guys, I'm sorry. We're not gonna continue this. And yeah, Mage felt really slow too, and let me tell you, with the delay, it just was not fun. So I don't think Bless Unleashed is going to be a bad game. In fact, I was more impressed than I was disappointed. I mean, I'm only disappointed really with the combat, excluding the delay. Even without the delay, the combat just seems kind of slow. I feel like if they got the combat right, if it was just a step up, if it was just a little bit more faster, this could really be an amazing game. All of us that played Bless Online, we still have a bad taste in our mouth. You know, a lot of us aren't going to forgive them for what they did, but for the people who are Xbox only or console players, or people trying this for the first time that have no idea what Bless Online is or was, and for people who are more open-minded and willing to give this a chance regardless of the past, I truly think this could be a good game. At least the way it ran on the Xbox One X, it ran so smooth. I was like, this is good shit. It's just this combat needs work. It needs work. I wanted to put together a Let's Play. I feel like that could have been a lot more entertaining to do a few videos or a series, but this is like the second or third time that I've had to just sit on these thoughts because there's always something. The first time it just was way too bad to talk about and unplayable for me. At least the stuff I experienced, there was a screen shake that damn near gave me a seizure. And this time it was night and day. So either their update really fixed it, but I'm sure that playing on an Xbox One X was a huge step up. So if you guys are going to play this game, don't judge the performance based off your regular Xbox, because this thing is like meant for an X. But yeah, that's how I feel about Bless Unleashed. I think this has a lot of potential. I think it felt really good. Everything about it felt and looked good besides the combat. The combat did not feel good. Just to quote some people from the chat, they thought it was a beautiful game. They thought the sound effects were nice. Someone thought the voice acting was good. I don't really remember the voice acting myself. A lot of people love the UI. But here's some quotes. Combat kills my soul. Hard to watch. Combat needs work. Looks very sluggish. And yeah, it felt very sluggish and clunky, and the delay didn't make it any better. I don't know if I'll be trying the next one. If I have an Xbox next to me down the street, one I can borrow, I'll probably do it, but I will not go out and buy an Xbox One X for this. I would buy a regular Xbox, but after seeing how it performs on an X, it would just be... Yeah, let me know what you guys think or thought about it if you've played it. I hope this doesn't make you guys think that Bless Unleashed is just going to be another shit show like the rest of them, although that's very possible. It's just that the combat was the only thing that I really had an issue with. And if that can get worked on, if that can get sped up, even the animations look nice. So it all comes down to just stepping up that combat from what I played. And even though I only played up until level 5, so I saw a very basic combat, when they put you in the prologue, they give you access to later on skills. And even then, it was very slow and sluggish. So if this is their way of throwing you in and saying, hey, this is what the combat is going to become, this is what it's going to look like, it wasn't that impressive. But again, I still think the game has potential, and if the combat stays like this, I think, you know, people will still enjoy it. There are some cool features like world bosses, and the world was just so damn beautiful, so I'm rooting for it. Hope it does well. You know, I don't want to see another game die. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. So Bless Unleashed, first impressions, first thoughts from a man who could barely get into the game. That delay and the combat was kind of making me just... Let's turn this off. So yeah guys, I'm sorry. We're not going to continue this. Until the next video, guys. See you soon, friends.